We're back. Moo Movie news time. It's the second one ever. It's July 30th through August 2nd, at least half of August 2nd. Let's just jump right into it. Woo! First up, we got some more news on the Avengers Doomsday casting. It appears Robert Downey Jr. is going to get paid a lot more than $80 million for these next two Avengers movies, which is absolutely insane. No person should be paid that amount, probably. Not probably, definitely. That's crazy for probably not even being in this movie much. Like, you could just keep him in the mask and he won't even have to show up on set like Pedro Pascal in The Mandalorian. But yeah, he's gonna get all this money, so that's good for him. Not good for him, but whatever. That's life, I guess. Like the Joker song. That's where that song's from. That's life. Yep, I don't know. Yeah, sure. He's going to be Doctor Doom. 80. Let's give him a whole butt ton of money to be it. Why not? What could go wrong? Let's put all the money on that instead of anything else in the movie. He also only agreed to return if the Russo brothers return to direct, which makes a whole lot of sense because we've been hearing a lot of rumors about other people directing these next Avengers movies and the Russos not coming back. But if they wanted Robert Downey Jr., which it seems they wanted Robert Downey Jr. a lot, I have no idea why. Probably because, I don't know, maybe they're not doing great right now, but I thought they were, but whatever. Okay, yeah, I liked Infinity War. I didn't like Endgame that much. Endgame's okay, though. So I'm not against it. You don't really direct these movies, I feel like. Maybe I'm wrong. But they're already, like, made. The concept's already made. You don't have to do much, it feels like. Maybe I'm lying there. I'm not. But I feel like, hopefully they're paying the writers a lot too, but I highly doubt it. And they're definitely not going to pay the animators a lot, but let's give the villain more than $80 million for their screen time that they won't do much of, probably. That's life. As I said earlier, Joker, that's life. Next, it seems Charlie Cox has seemed to say that Season 2 of Daredevil Born Again will begin filming soon, which is pretty interesting since Season 1's not out. But TV shows do tend to do this a lot. And we didn't know there was going to be a Season 2, but it makes sense that there is going to be one. The original series had, 5 or 4 or something? I don't know. But the TV series has always been popular, so they're probably banking on this just being popular since it's probably a continuation now. I know at first they said it wasn't, but I think they've backtracked, and it is just going to be a straight continuation of the original series with maybe some minor changes. Punisher's in this, I think. Probably some other people from Daredevil's history we will see in this. I actually haven't seen the original series yet. Hopefully one day I will. Probably before I watch this, I imagine. But who knows? Anyway, Season 2 of this. Expect probably a couple seasons of Daredevil. I wouldn't be surprised. You could kind of just make these on the side while you make the movies, really. But also their TV shows haven't been great. But we'll see with this. This might be different. I don't know who's writing this. I don't know anything about this, really. But if they can just continue how people described the first series as good, then this will be fine. He will be born again, as the title says. It's going to be like, I'm born again. My series is born again. It's just as good. If that's not the subtitle, I'm sad that I keep saying born again. That's all I have to say about this. Now, it's time for a moment of silence for the end of one of the possibly greatest truces of all time between two of the greatest rivals in history. Rest in peace. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. It's over. The Olympics canceled them. They're not doing it anymore. And instead, they're going to focus on esports and NFTs, which esports is a cool addition. I like that they're adding that to the Olympics. And NFTs, yeah. Everyone loves those. Those are famously loved things. Awesome. I don't know why we had to cancel this series for those two things to exist, but okay. Thank you, I guess. Yeah. So there's not going to be any more Mario and Sonics, most likely, at the Olympic Games. Which is sad, because this is a great crossover between two characters, and hopefully we get something else out of it, like another Mario and Sonic game. Like, I don't know what you do with them besides this, but you could definitely find something, because to be honest, these games were pretty mediocre throughout this series, but they're still fun to play with people, I guess. I've played them. I've played all of them. I haven't played some of the winter ones, but I think I've played all the summer ones. I definitely played the summer one on the 2012 summer one so freaking much on the 3DS, and I have no idea why. There's like a story mode I played, and like Eggman and Bowser were pretty sure they were in love in that, but which is pretty cool. That's cool. Good for them, actually. I'm proud of them. And I didn't play 2016 that much, but 2016 on the 3DS, it had this mode where you could walk in real life and earn stuff, and that made me go walk. So that actually worked. The Olympics game actually worked, and they made me do Olympics walking. Walking is an Olympic sport. But rest in peace, Mario and Sonic, at the Olympic Games. You will be missed, but maybe we'll get something better out of this. Maybe we'll just get a better Mario and Sonic crossover game. In which case, thank God you died, and I won't miss you. Goodbye. Alright, I guess I'm gonna speedrun my monthly ranking since I said I would in the last episode, so here we go. Let's start with last place. Cue the music.
Yes, I am pretty despicable.
At the bottom of things I watched this month is Despicable Me 4. That's right, there's 4 of these movies. There's actually 6 if you count the 2 Minions movies. And yet there's only one good one, and it's the first one. These are movies. I don't even know what to talk about this. It feels like a bunch of shorts combined together. Like everyone's got their own plot going on. I don't know. There's Will Ferrell's the bad guy, and he has cockroach powers. He has an army of cockroaches. He doesn't actually use that army, but he's got cockroach powers and a cockroach car and a friend, and that's all a villain needs. So, they got that part good, but the rest of this movie, I don't know. Pharrell Williams is on the soundtrack, shocking no one. It's a soundtrack, and he's on it. It's a Pharrell Williams soundtrack. For some reason, he decides that he actually should try on these Minions soundtracks. Don't ask me why, but he tries and does them. He doesn't just, I don't know. Somehow he does it. The poster's is Venom. You ever seen Venom? This poster's just Venom now that I'm looking at it. That's cool. I didn't like this movie. Let's move on. I was in last place.
Disney brought him back. They're going to make him do this till he's 90.
Well, as you can tell, Deadpool and Wolverine would actually be next up at second to bottom, but I already talked about this last video. If you want to see it, just go click on last video. I've said enough about this. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I'm moving on. Next.
Did you ever hear the tragedy of
The Acolyte.
Next up, we have The Acolyte. Yippee! This is a very mediocre TV series in the Star Wars universe, and they've been getting pretty mediocre lately outside of Andor. This is one of those films where, like, if you hate it, you look like a bad person because the other people who hate it are bad people, but a lot of us have actually, not a lot, I'd say a lot are being bullies, but some of us actually have criticism for this TV series that doesn't involve being a bigot, so that's fun. It was just boring, and it felt like nothing, I don't know. They introduce all these characters, but don't really give us time to learn who they are before killing them off in a dramatic way to make us feel sad. And, like, they do these flashbacks, but it's horribly placed within the series, and all of it's horribly paced, I think. And it's just, some of it doesn't really, I don't want to say doesn't make sense, because that's Star Wars. It's all about not making sense. It's just, I like when it's goofy. That's fun. I like when Star Wars gets weird and crap. I like the witches. I like, just their episodes were boring, for sure. Most of them were. A lot of this was just mediocre episodes. I don't know if there was a standout portion I can point to. Uh, it's hard to talk about something that's just mediocre, so let's move on.
I'm Chris Hansen. No, you're not. Yes, I am. No, you're not. Yes, I am.
The main character was a creepy-ass weirdo.
Oh, they twins! Go!
Fun fact, both me and my sister are actually in this movie. You'll have to find us, though, to see where we are. Anyway, in Twisters, there are more than one tornado. I don't know if the first one had more than one tornado, but since it's called Twisters, there has to be more than one. And at one point, there are twin tornadoes. Isn't that cool? There's two at once. At one point, it looks like there's a fire tornado. So the tornado has magical powers in this one. This is an action movie. What are those called? Natural disaster movie, you know, all that. Have you ever seen the first Ghostbusters? It's the first Ghostbusters, but they catch a tornado instead of a ghost. That's kind of the plot of this movie. I think I summarized this movie really well, actually. So imagine first Ghostbusters, but not as funny and a little more mediocre. And you got Twisters. And Bill Murray's not in it. Imagine that. Imagine this movie. You got it in your head? You're imagining Twisters. So if you don't want to watch Twisters now, you don't have to. I just told you what happens in Twisters. Also, me and my sister are in it. I don't know if I mentioned that. We're both in it. As I said, I'm bad at explaining why I don't like mediocre movies, because they're just mediocre. I was just bored through most of it. It takes a bit to get into Twisters, too. Not Twisters 2 as in it's a sequel, because it is a sequel, but Twisters 2 as in also. They should have made the S at the end of 2, so it looked like Twister 2, but it's actually Twisters. Goodbye.
You killed Black Tom, you racist son of a...
So I'm going to combine these two together since they're close enough to each other, even though they're not right next to each other, because they're very similar, because it's Deadpool and Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2 is lower than Deadpool. Just to make that clear. I didn't like Deadpool 2 as much as Deadpool. Deadpool had a lot more heart in it. I do think Deadpool 2 might be a little bit funnier, which these movies do much better than the heart stuff, but I do think the heart stuff's enough to carry Deadpool 1 into above Deadpool 2. Anyway, these are both pretty good movies, especially compared to Deadpool and Wolverine. I have fun watching them. I'm not going to dread watching them if someone tells me to watch them with them. Unless I had watched it recently. I don't want to rewatch something twice. But yeah. The second one's got really funny jokes. I laugh a lot during it. The CGI is not very good in either of them. Which CGI is not good in the third one either. It had a bigger budget. I talked about that last time though. We're done talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. First Deadpool, I like that it starts in the middle of the film with an action sequence before flipping back, because that reminds me of Megamind. That's why I like that. There's no other reason why I like that. I also like the connection we get to feel between Ryan Reynolds' character and Vanessa. I think that's fun. And it's set up well, and it's believable between these two characters. And so you realize why Deadpool would do all this to save her, to be with her again. And I think that's great, and I think Deadpool and Wolverine ruined that a bit, but whatever. And in Deadpool 2 is really fun. I like the father-son type of connection between him and Fire Hand Man. I'm good at remembering characters' names. I do know Cable's in that one because I don't know why I remember it. I just remember his name. It's probably because it's easy. And because he's Cable, he's like a more known Avenger than Fire Fist Man, which is his name. By the way, I did just look it up. It is actually Fire Fist Man. I got it right the first time. But anyway, both these movies, the second one's okay. The third one's pretty good, I'd say. That's all I have to say about them. They're fun. Check them out. Don't watch the third one, though, unless you want to be bored.
He won 3 piston cups.
He did what in his cup?
Vroom, vroom, I'm a car. I used to think this was a lot more mediocre than it is. It's still mediocre, but I thought it was a lot more mediocre than it was. I had pretty fun. I thought it was a lot more funny this time. I think I used to find Mater annoying, but I found myself laughing at him more than being annoyed by him this time. I like this little fun, just short redemption story. Well, I don't know if short's the right word, but it happens, it's good, and then just do it in a funny way. It's a movie about a talking car played by Owen Wilson. That's the plot of Cars. And they go vroom. Mater's funny. He says funny things. John Ratzenberger's big car. The end. Anyway, everyone knows everything about Cars. I don't have to talk about this. Let's leave. I have the same opinion on Up as pretty much everyone else, where only the beginning's incredible. If this movie ended when the house lifted up into the air and just implied that he got there or didn't get there, it was up for you to decide, that would have been perfect, I think. I think that would have been a good place to just end it there. I know that would have been a shorter movie, but I liked that. He was happy. He got his way out. He did it. Or maybe you could just have him hang out with Russell at home. Or maybe you could have made this movie good by going to Paradise Falls, but it gets incredibly boring once they get there. Same opinion as everybody else. It only goes down from there, even though the movie's called Up. That's my opinion on Up.
Yeah. Yummers.
Delicious and Dungeon. It's awesome. It's a good show. It's awesome. There's this cat girl, and she's so cool. She's probably my favorite character, even though she doesn't get much in this season. So hopefully next season, I will see more of this beautiful cat. Anyway, all the characters are really cool in this. Look at the cat. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. But also all the characters are beautiful. Look at this character. Look at this character. Even this character is beautiful. Oh my god. It's really fun. It's just a fun time. It's got a good story too. And they cook food. They're in a dungeon, they cook food just every episode. And you're watching the episode and you're like, there's nothing they could eat this episode. There's not a single thing they could eat this episode. Oh, there's armor? There's only armor they're fighting here. What the heck are they going to eat? And then somehow they find a way to eat whatever they're fighting or something, pretty much. It's really just a fun time, and the characters are great. I love every single character in this. I don't think there's one I hate yet, except the bad guy, I guess. But you're supposed to? But even the bad guy's cool. Yeah. That's Delicious and Dungeon.
Oi, Huey. Homelander done got me preggers.
Speaking of shows where everyone's attractive, we have My Adventures with Superman. Season 2 came out. It was really good. I loved it. I like the Supergirl arc of manipulation and getting over manipulation. That's really fun. Not fun, it's sad, but it's great. And I think this show's a really terrific Superman show. It's up there with Superman and Lois, which I'm watching, which has its final season this year. Yippee. But hopefully this goes on longer. Hopefully they won't cancel this one too. But we'll see. There's even the Lois Jimmy Olsen episode, which people didn't like as much, I found really fun. The little side adventure of trying to get to Clark. This is me trying not to spoil too much. And yeah, well, watch this show if you like Superman. It's really good. Jack Quaid plays Superman. You may know him from The Boys and Hunger Games and other stuff. My Adventures with Superman and incredible Superman media in a time where every Superman media has him evil, basically. But we're finally getting good Superman back. He's back. He's back in the public eye. I'm going to kind of speed run these Pixar ones because these have all been talked about a lot. But Toy Story 3, I remember it as it not being incredible, but the last part of it is really good, the last 5 minutes. So it's the opposite of Up in that way. But on rewatch, actually the whole thing's pretty good, and the last part's just incredible still. But I found the whole thing really fun and funny, and it's a jailbreak movie with toys. What is not to like about that? That's really cool. I swear Slinky Dog carries in all of these movies. He's OP in all the action stuff they have to do. And everyone else is useless except maybe Woody for being a good leader. The rest of them are absolutely crap. Buzz gets captured is stupid in the majority of these movies. Ham and Mr. Potato Head just argue the whole time and don't do anything, I swear to God. Actually, Mr. Potato Head's a little useful in this one. I will give him that. Usually he's one of the useless ones alongside Rex. Rex does nothing ever, I swear to God. Anyway, enough about the usefulness of the toys in combat. Let's go on.
We'll go to very distant lands.
Adventure Time Distant Lands. This is a great little mini series focusing on some of the characters found in Adventure Time. So let's go through each episode real quick. Episode 1 is the BMO episode. This is a really fun one. I like BMO. I don't want to spoil the ending, but it's cool. There's a rabbit character. I like it. I like the world we establish in this one. It's pretty neato. Episode 2 is the best one in this season series, maybe. If these are probably it. I like Marceline and Bubblegum's dynamic in this one, and I like just the plot and how that correlates with their backstory they do throughout it. And yeah, episode 3, the Finn and Jake episode. It's the one everybody likes a lot. I also like it a lot. I like the Marceline and Bubblegum one a little better. It's great to see these two back again, and maybe we're gonna see them back again when the movie comes out. We'll find out then. Episode 4 is probably the weakest one, but I do like the new Peppermint Butler one. Well, he's now not Peppermint Butler, but kind of a reincarnation of him. It's a weird little thing, but I like him becoming his own person and interacting with some new characters. It's really fun seeing more of the magic side of Adventure Time.
Dun, da, 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 dun, dun.
In a world where now everyone's doing multiverse stories, Adventure Time manages to take the Fiona and Cake as one of the good ones. Thankfully. Because there's a lot of bad ones, but there's a few good ones, and this is one of them. I think they used the multiverse aspect of this very well in a way to kind of show Ice King's development of all people, or Simon now. And Fiona and Cake are there. And they also learn some stuff throughout. But I like how Ice King slowly learns that he did matter, even though he made some mistakes in the past. But he also was still important to people like Marceline and stuff. And through showing alternate universes, they do a cool way of showing why they matter. And also, Fiona and Cake learn that life can be cool. Life's not just boring. Or maybe their boring life was already cool. Who knows? There's some great characters that come back in this, and it's really fun. Check it out if you like Adventure Time.
The boys are back in town.
The Boys Season 4. They're fighting Homelander again. This time, they're the boys. Last time, they were the boys. They're still the boys. I don't think this is the weakest season. I still think that goes to Season 2, but it is definitely not as strong as the peakness of Season 3. And Season 1's better also. That's true. I like what they do in this. Minor spoiler here, but I like the little A-Train redemption arc we get. I think that's reasonable and something that seems realistic. I like how it's a lot more blunt, because I think that mirrors real life of how they were pretty good at hiding. And they weren't really good, but they were kind of good at hiding their fascistness. I'm talking about Republicans. And now it's just full-on, full-grown, in your face, which is definitely seeable in people like Firecracker in this show. There's just stuff they do with Huey that I don't like. Like, I don't think they handled it very well. I think you guys can know what I'm talking about if you've seen it, but I don't want to spoil anything. And a good season. It was still good. I liked it. Check it out.
Where we see, and please allow me to finish this because it's going to seem like a bit of a jump, we see Thanos.
Ratatouille. I love Ratatouille. This is a great movie. I wouldn't let a rat cook my food, though, just so you know. But I would let a rat control me to cook food. But I wouldn't eat that food. That's a true story. I like this. It's a great movie. Everyone knows that. Check it out. As I said, I'm going to speedrun these Pixar ones, so yeah.
Yes, I am pretty incredible.
The only good Fantastic Four movie, because it's actually a family movie disguised as a superhero movie, like a movie about a family. But they disguise it as a superhero movie, and it's very dramatic. I like Incredibles. I do like the superhero portions too. I know I was talking about the other family aspect of this, but they both they contrast well together, making a good backdrop that makes this more memorable as a movie. I still love this movie a lot, but it is no longer my second favorite Pixar movie. Something has overthrown it in that spot. Well, a couple things have. A lot of things just got rearranged in my Pixar ranking, which I might show off when I finish them all that I'm rewatching now. I don't know why I'm doing it. Because why not? Because I'm bored. Anyway, Incredibles, you know this is a great movie. Actually came out my birth year. Every movie that came out my birth year is really good. Like Spider-Man 2. Yeah. Shark Tale? No, I don't think that came out my birthday. Shrek 2. That did come out my birthday year. There we go. I was right.
I didn't know we had a pool.
That's right. WALL-E's now my favorite Pixar movie. This movie is so freaking cute. I love WALL-E and Eve's love for each other and how it grows and how Eve learns to like WALL-E back and humanity as a whole and overcome her directive to be basically whatever Otto wants, I guess, or the key to humanity. And it's cool because it's like the robots are more human than the humans in this, as the humans have like no interaction with each other outside of like phone calls. They're all just, fat and lazy. And the robots, as a result, seem more human than them, which is a pretty interesting thing to point out, I think. And yeah, this is such a good movie. But also, that's my tier list, or my ranking. Here's the tier list. Why not? Because I said the word. Here's that. And that's the tier list and the ranking of what I watched this month. And that's also the end of the video. Thank you for watching this episode of Moo Moo News that had a tier list at the end also, which is news-oriented. Yeah. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.